Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. I've just cracked open a PassionFruit La Croix. I'm sitting underneath a palm tree in the cool Los Angeles spring air. I hear something, bugs chirping in the background. Not exactly crickets or cicadas. It almost sounds like birds. You can hear the cars streaming by on the highway, and I'm about to spark up this joint. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me. Let's do this. It's windy tonight, pal. Ooh. All right, first puff. Let's get this ember going. I never feel more SoCal. I don't know if I should say more SoCal, more LA, more California. I want to say I never feel more LA. I never feel more Californian than when I am sitting on the side of the road, on the sidewalk, on the curb, wearing fun, colorful short shorts, oversized cardigan, smoking legal weed, and sipping a LaCroix. You could shorten that to, smoking weed and drinking LaCroix. The fire of the cannabis, the refreshing, crisp, cold of the LaCroix. Kind of fruity and citrusy and refreshing. And just chilling, just being here, and I just love it. And I just love it. I love it. I love being here. I love thinking that anything could happen. I love living my life like it's a movie. I literally am staring at Mattel. I can see Mattel. Should I be saying that? Am I just doxing myself? It's a big building. It's a big building. Fuck it, I already said it. I can see Mattel. I can see the Mattel. I can see Mattel from where I am right now. And, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? Things are here, that I'm here. And I've always felt a part of here. I've always felt a part of here. And I don't necessarily mean LA specifically. I mean like existing in a place where I exist, where I like being a person, like being I don't want to be a shadow. I don't want to be an NPC. I don't want to be a wind. I don't want to be any of that. I want to be a person, a physical, real person. And I'm not saying that to take anything away from anybody else, from what anybody else wants. I want to be what I am. I want to be what I want to be, who I am. I want to just be who I am. And I just love the magic. That's how I feel about New York City. I love New York City. I love just, like, to me, New York City is the city. When you think of the city, it's New York. And just when I'm in New York, I just am I just try to take it in and be like, I'm here. I'm in New York City. This is the city. This is the place. And like, when I'm in New York City, I walk. I don't take the subway. I don't take cabs. I don't take Ubers. I walk everywhere, because the cool thing about New York is you just like find places, you just discover places. I have walked around a lot of Midtown Manhattan, because that's where the garment district is, like around 7th Avenue, in between like New York Penn Station, like 32nd Street and like 42nd Street. Just that's where there's a lot of fabric stores and button stores, and like I have a clothing brand, and I make clothes, and I sew, and I crochet, and I look for cool buttons, and go to military surplus stores and all that kind of shit. And so, why am I saying that? I've only explored a really small amount of New York. Like, I've been to Brooklyn a little bit here and there. I really would love to look at like the comedy scene there. I've been to like Tribeca a little bit. I've been to the Village a little bit, but it's mostly Midtown. I'll tell you why. Is because when I was living in LA, and then I was living on the East Coast again, and then I'm back in LA now. I'm from Philadelphia, excuse me, but during the pandemic, I was living outside of New York City in New Jersey, like right across the water, basically in the forest in the middle of nowhere. But it was nice because like I was like in the forest, but then like 5 minutes down the road was a train station. I could get on the train and be in Manhattan in no time at all. And so I would take the train in, and so the train would take me to New York Penn Station, which is in Midtown Manhattan. Which, like I said, I've only really done Manhattan. I haven't really done a lot of Brooklyn, or any of the other boroughs for that matter. I mean, I've been to LaGuardia Airport, so I've been up that way, but making sure no ants crawl in my La Croix, dude. There's no sugar. It's just carbonated water. So I would go to New York Penn Station, and so I would just walk around, so I couldn't go too far. But, I mean, I would go fucking far. I would walk, but the whole point is, like, I've explored Midtown Manhattan so many times, and it's the same area, and I discover a new place every time. A new store, a new restaurant, a new building, a new something, a new bagel place, a new clothing store. Like, I went to this one, like, vintage boutique store. They had, like, a lot of, like, I don't know, like, World War II leather jacket, bomber jacket, like, Air Force type shit. And it's one of those places where you have to, like, I only saw it because they had, like, a A-frame sign on the sidewalk and, like, advertising it. But it is a, sorry, there's, like, there's, like, a police or something. I don't know. I don't know if it's police or patrol, but I live here, so. Honestly, all I'm thinking about is, like, can I make a friend? You know what I mean? If you want to stop and talk to me. Oh, you're pulling in? Oh, do you live here? Oh. I feel like that TikTok sound. Oh. 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 How does it go? You know what I mean? Oh, no, you're just turning around. What are you doing? I don't know. Interrupting my story, dude. But it was like this A-frame. You have to, like, go into this generic high-rise building that was built probably like 100 years ago. That's just different stores are in there, and you have to take an elevator, and it's one of those, I didn't realize it, but it's like a private appointment boutique shopping place. Like, it's private shopping, but like no one was in there, so I was just like looking around, and like they were like kind of mean to me, like, oh, do you have an appointment? And I kind of wanted to do that like thing where I'm like, well, fuck you, I'm gonna buy something. But I thought but it was like going into Gucci and buying a pair of socks. I bought 2 patches. One was it was like Alaska and Oregon. They were like state patches. They were like vintage. I don't know. They were probably like $9 each. They were selling like leather, like vintage coats for like, you know, $1,000. And I was like, yeah, I'll take these 2 patches. He's like, do you want me to wrap them up? And I was like, yes, please. I was like, you want to open the door? I'll walk through. Okay, let's do it. The packaging probably cost more than the sale they made. They wrapped them in like wrapping paper, and then they put it in like a bag, and the bag had like real rope handles. And I was like, thank you. Like, I was like, let's do this. It looked like a store where like Ryan Gosling would buy, like a coat from or something like that for a GQ photo shoot. Excuse me. And so, but you just never know, like, what you're going to stumble into, what you're going to find, and what's going to happen. Good news. After being on TikTok for years with multiple accounts, posting over 1,000 TikToks, possibly 2,000. I don't know how many. I tried to count one. It's over 1,000. And, you know, nothing really happening, having like 200 followers, 200 views per video, which, you know, if you follow me on TikTok, thank you. I'm not trying to dismiss you at all. Just trying to have a career here. And I posted this video, and it's funny because, like, it wasn't like super flushed out. It was just kind of like a funny idea I had, but it was like there were parts of it where I was like, is this like millennial cringe? I'm not sure, but I just like posted it, and it like within like 20 minutes it got like, it went over 1,000 views, which to me, I was like, oh my God, like 1,000 views. Like I said, most of my TikToks get like 200 views. I've always been like, why is TikTok supposed to be like this viral place? Why is it not working for me? So it's been about, you know, I posted it like probably like 4 a.m. last night, which I probably should have posted it during the day. But anyway, it is like, I don't know, 1 a.m. right now. So it's been about 21 hours. We're currently at like 80,000 views, which is great. Super cool. It's just popping the fuck off. Really happy about that. And then also simultaneously, I have a video going viral on Facebook and Instagram. And both of those are sitting around like 250,000. So the Facebook and the Instagram video are the same, but the TikTok one is different. And it's funny because like the one popping off on Facebook and Instagram flopped on TikTok, and the one popping off on TikTok flopped on Facebook and Instagram. So you just don't know. We don't know anything. You don't know anything. And I'm convinced that nobody knows anything. I mean, I'm not saying that people don't know things, like people don't know like how to bake a cake or how to like, you know, divide, you know, 21 by 3. I know people know how to do things. I mean like the arrogant people that are like, this is how you blah blah blah, start a business, become a famous singer, like, you know, start your own clothing brand. Like, I'm convinced that people just do things and it either works or it doesn't. People make decisions, and it either works or it doesn't. And if it works, then you think like that's the way, as opposed to it was just a way that worked for you in that moment. Like there's somebody who's like, oh, I want to be an actor. And people are like, oh, well, if you want to be an actor, the way to do it is to make YouTube videos. Or the way to do it is to get a headshot and go on auditions. Or the way to do it is to take improv classes. Or the way to do it is stand-up comedy. Honestly, you should be doing all of those things, but it's not the way. Like, it's not the way. There's just some ways. And everybody's path, oh God, this is going to sound, you know what, but it's true. Everybody's path is different. There is no one path because every person is different. Every situation is different. Some people go viral on TikTok. The first place I ever went viral was on Instagram Reels, and that was 2 years ago. And I've been putting up myself on the internet since I was 14 years old. So it's just kind of like, but I heard this quote by this musician that I just kind of discovered or heard about. And I'm blanking on her name because I don't even like it's so new. If I remember her name, I'll put it in the episode description. But she was being interviewed, and she basically was like, if you just like don't give up, like it'll just happen eventually. Like it just like kind of like has to happen. Like if you just don't stop. And I've always really kind of believed that. And this TikTok thing has really made me feel good because I've just been not feeling good. I've just been not okay. I'm not in a good place. I'm not in a good place. I'm not in a good place. That's just the truth. I feel like I'm on a hamster wheel. I just turned 33. I feel like everybody's moving forward with every aspect of their lives, and I'm not in any area. My career, my body, my relationships, my mental health, my finances, my my passions, just everything, however you measure things. And I know that could be very toxic to compare yourself to other people or to manage success in a certain way. My bed is 3 foam pads stuffed together in a mattress casing on the floor. And guess what? I like it. It's comfortable. They're Tempur-Pedic foam. It's comfortable. I'm not worried about a serial killer hiding under my bed because there is no under my bed. Does it look bad? Yes. It looks like one of those memes where it's like guys can live like this and be happy, and it's just a meme of like a TV and an air mattress. And I like it. And you know what? I'll tell you why. Because my life is so crazy and chaotic. When I go into my bedroom and it's literally just like my bed on the floor with a bunch of pillows and blankets and my fan, I got the Pink Rocks Himalayan salt lamp, I got a humidifier for the winters, and just like my phone charger. It's peaceful. There's nothing in there. It's calm. It doesn't feel stark. It doesn't feel sterile because the rest of my apartment is chaos. It's like an ADHD extrovert explosion. You know, my main room is like my studio for my clothing brand. I've got yarn everywhere and fabric and t-shirts and hoodies and everything. And so it's just like, it's a lot. And then, you know, my bathroom's got hair products everywhere and my laundry machine's in there, so laundry's everywhere. And I use my walk-in closet for a podcast studio because so there's foam on the walls, and so I can't put anything in there. And, you know, I got like a tripod in the middle of the floor. I mean, usually I try and stick it in the closet, but just, I like it. And so it's just kind of, or it's just like, I don't know, like I like how I am in certain ways. And that's an interesting thing of like loving yourself as you are now, while you also work on becoming the best version of yourself for yourself. I might be butchering that, but I kind of thought about this whole thing of like, how do you love yourself as you are, but not be like, not try and get better and like, oh, everything, like the toxic things I'm doing are okay, but then also like not shitting on yourself all the time, being like, oh, I'm not gonna like myself until I'm have this much money, or my muscles are like this, or my body's like this, or my bank account's like this, because that never ends. I mean, I was talking to my sister and I was like, you know, I'm upset now, wishing like I was in, you know, a TV show or something, but like if I got in a TV show, I'd be complaining that like I didn't get nominated for an Oscar, and then if I get nominated for an Oscar, I'd be complaining that like I didn't win or whatever. But I also told her something else, which is, and I know I'm like complaining about shit, so this might not sound believable. I'm very good at being happy with certain things in the moment. Like, I'm drinking this LaCroix under these palm trees in LA, and it's amazing, and I'm so happy about it. Or like, I did a movie in 2017, and I remember like being in the trailer and being like, you're in a trailer with your name on the door, with like, you're acting with actors that you've seen in movies that you watched growing up. Like, sit in this moment, enjoy this moment. Like, don't let this fly by. Like, sit here and enjoy this and think about this and just soak this in. And I have another memory of like a couple years ago being in New York City, and I was in a hotel in the lobby, but the lobby's like high up, and I'm like looking out of the city, and I was just like, think about this. Like, you are in New York City in a hotel looking out like over the city at night. Like, soak this in. Like, there are people who never come here. No, and I'm not saying that like sitting in a hotel in New York City, like, I have the self-awareness. Some people are like, I don't fucking give a shit about that. It doesn't matter, dude. You could be like in West Virginia like sitting under a waterfall, and it's the same thing. I'm just giving you a specific example. You can fill in the blank with whatever that is to you. To me, this is that thing, okay? I'm an artist. I've always been an artist. It's not the bougie aspect. It's the magic of it. Like seeing New York in movies your whole life as a kid and then like being there, or like seeing Hollywood or Los Angeles or California in surfer movies, and then you come here and it's just like, that's what it is. So it's just like, so I am pretty good about that, but it's just a weird thing too, because it's like, I was talking to my parents and I was like, yeah, like I have a video going viral on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok right now. And they're like, cool, but like, you know, and then they asked the parent thing of like, is that making money? Like, what does that do for your career? Like, what does that mean? Like, how does that help? Like, what's that doing for you? Like, what's it, you know, which is a fair thing. And my parents are amazing. I'm not throwing them under the bus at all. I love my parents. They're amazing. They've always been so loving to me. I've always been so weird, and they've loved me. My mom is a mom. She's been a little bit more worried about things and cautious in her life. I mean, she's got reason for it. Both her parents passed away when she was a kid, and so she's got a lot of, you know, reasonable, respectable, like understandable reasons why. My dad has always been more of like a go take that risk thing, and he's always been very much more about like me just like being all weird and doing my thing. But you know, I've been, you know, doing all these things, and they are obviously wanting me to be successful and happy, but also, you know, I'm not exactly stable. And so they're like, what does that mean? I was like, well, you know, it says in my bio to listen to my podcast, and I posted a comment and pinned it, like, you know, check out my podcast. But once again, the path is not clear, right? I'm going to make art because I'm an artist, and it's what brings me joy. No matter what. I'm going to do it no matter what. No matter what. I'm an artist. I'm going to make art. It makes me feel good, whether people like it or not. Obviously, I want people to like it, but if they don't, they don't. I'm still going to do it. It fills me up with joy and energy and purpose and meaning. I create meaning in my life with who I love and what I love to do. I do have to pay bills, right? And so being an artist, the path is not always clear, right? About where the money comes from. Does it come from selling merch? Does it come from ad revenue? Does it come from live shows? Does it come from a brand deal? And it's really interesting because I heard a podcast with Baby No Money and Cody Co, and Baby No Money was talking about how like he doesn't think of making music as making his money, but he kind of thinks about making music as like the tool to like have opportunities to make money. So what he means by that is like streaming music doesn't really make money because it used to be that you would sell vinyl records or cassette tapes or CDs, like physical copies, and it wasn't really making money selling the music, but the actual physical thing of the CD. But now with like people listening to music on Spotify or like Apple or Google or YouTube or whatever the fuck you use, people aren't buying music, they're just streaming it, right? And so you get way less. And so he's like, I have to make money by, you know, maybe there's ad revenue from like the music videos on YouTube, or like selling merch, or live shows, or him doing like brand deals or whatever. And so it's like he makes a song like edamame, and maybe that song doesn't really make money, but then he gets a sponsorship deal with like an edamame food company or something. I don't know. So you don't know like how that goes. And also I'm always thinking of like, I want to like treat things the way I would want to be treated, right? And so I kind of hate where there's all these like ads and brand deals and all these things, and like I understand it and it makes sense, and artists have to pay bills, but I just was kind of thinking today about like because I was thinking about making a post about my podcast and being like, hey everyone, like my podcast is free on all platforms. There's no paywall. It's not like on Patreon. It's free. There's no ads, like automatic ads from the distributor, and there's no ads from me, like doing ad reads, and there's no sponsors. And I was thinking, like, what if I could just keep it like that as long as possible or forever, and just make money from like merch or doing like a live show, or I don't know, like something like that, where it's like, instead of doing like ad reads, it's just like, hey, there's this cool merch and I make money, but then you also get like a cool t-shirt, as opposed to like I make money and you have to like listen to an ad. I don't know, because I had a video go viral on Facebook like last year, and I think it was my like dating is insane video, where I talk about how weird dating is when you really think about it. And I had the opportunity to like turn on monetization or something, and these platforms are always changing and they're all different, so it's all like the way that they monetize is always different, and it's always changing because they're all at each other's throats. So like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, TikTok, like all of it, Snapchat, YouTube, all, like they're always changing, and it's so difficult to keep up with. But essentially they were like, do you want to run, because you can make money, like people can gift you, or it could be like an ad or whatever. But it was like, it's a 1 minute video, and they were like, do you want to turn on ads? There'll be an ad every 15 seconds. And I was like, what the fuck? Does that mean there's gonna be like 4 ads for this 1 minute, because it's 4 15-second chunks like in the beginning of the ad? I was like, I declined it, because I was like, I would rather this video keep popping off and me just get in front of people and not ruin this than me make, I don't even know what I could make, $50, 200, 1,000, like probably not a lot. I mean, the video did like 2.3 million, I believe, eventually, but they probably only offered me that after it hit like a certain amount. Maybe it was halfway through, I don't know. But I was like, I'm just gonna like, and you have to make these decisions, because you're not just an artist, but you're a business owner. So it's this Venn diagram duality of like art and business, art and commerce. And I was just like, okay, I am going to not turn on ads for this video, and I'm just gonna let it go raw, organically viral. I'm not going to like pay to push it either. I want to see how far it can go naturally. And I just think it's like this weird thing of like, I didn't want it to like take the soul out of it, which is like maybe overthinking, maybe not, I don't know. But I'm happy that TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook's popping off. But I'm like it's this weird thing of like, okay, but you know, what do I do? Where do I go? How does this help me? I mean, I remember like sitting with my parents, you know, locked in a house during COVID, during lockdown, and watching myself in a movie on Netflix with the guy from Boondock Saints and the cheerleader from season 4 of Stranger Things, and me just being like, okay, this is cool, but like, what do I do? You know what I mean? What do I do? I got 3 viral videos going on right now. What do I do? Do I just keep doing what I'm doing? I mean, it feels good that it popped off. It does feel good. But I want to exist. I want to do the thing, not attempt to do the thing, right? Isn't that what people want? To do the thing, to be the thing, to live the thing, not chase it or try it or pretend or aspire, or I don't know. There's so many cockroaches crawling around on the floor. It reminds me when I spent like 3 weeks being an intern for this literary talent agent in Beverly Hills, and it was as horrible as you think it was. She did scream at me, a lot and then just bring me like pastries to apologize, but I never ate them because I'm pretty sure she farted on them. But I remember like walking out of Beverly Hills and it's just like feels like money, but then like on the sidewalk there were like cockroaches crawling around, and it was just like such a metaphor of like Hollywood and Beverly Hills and Los Angeles. It's just very interesting. It's very interesting. You want to know what else is interesting? I'll tell you a story about today. So today I was walking my neighbor's 2 dogs. I walk them separately though, because one's really big and one's really small. And even though they get along, because the one's really small, he'll like run through the big dog's legs. And so his leash gets like all like tied up and all, not confused, but tangled. And if they were both 2 big dogs, they would kind of like stay, you know, up top. But because he's little, he kind of like if you were running through like an elephant's legs, it's like that. So, because the one is basically like lab mixed with like Bernese Mountain Dog, and one is like a Chihuahua mixed with, I don't know, like Terrier. I don't know. I don't judge. Okay, I don't judge. I love all dogs, except the super tiny yappy ones. Don't really like those. But anyway, so I'm walking the one dog, and I see this dude walking his dog, and I say hi to him, and he just like doesn't respond. Like, he notices me, he looked at me. Like, it's not like he didn't hear me, but he does this. It's a very like LA thing to just like not fucking respond. I say hi. We live in the same building. I'm not gonna like ask you for money. I'm not gonna ask you to help me move. I'm not gonna ask you if, you know, you can take a look at this thing on my back. Like, I'm just saying hi. I'm saying hi. I exist, you exist. I'm fucking saying hi. Maybe we become friends, maybe we don't. Maybe we're just friendly acquaintances, maybe we don't. But at the minimum, we are neighbors who exist. So fuck you. I say hi. He doesn't say anything. He notices me. He looks at me. He's 3 feet away from my fucking face. So then 20 minutes later, I'm out with, because he'd just come out and I was just going in, I'm out with the second dog. So then he just starts talking, no, hi, of course, but just being like, hold on a second. Okay, like there's no one around, but I was like, oh, what if he's out and he hears me talking about him? You know what? Good. He should learn his manners. No, nobody has their fucking windows open. Also, I don't give a shit. Also, for all I know, he's subscribed to my podcast. He probably is. Are you? If you're listening and you're not subscribed to the podcast, dude, why not? Subscribe. It's free. Available everywhere. Please subscribe. Please follow. And please rate the show the highest rating possible. And leave an amazing review, because it'll help me get discovered in the algorithm and distributed more. And I really appreciate it. So thank you. But then, so he sees me with another dog, and he's like, I'm going to use loose translations because I don't remember verbatim, because I blacked out by the audacity. So I'm just going to be like, so basically he was like, you have another dog? Like, is this another dog? You're with another dog? Something like that. And I was just like, oh, like, this is my neighbor's dog. Like, they have 2 dogs. I walk them separately or whatever. And he was like, oh, well, I'm like going away next week. Like, do you want to like watch my dog? And I was like, so for the record, I do not watch my neighbor's dogs, okay? There's a dude, and he goes to work all day. So I come over midday because I'm here. So I walk upstairs, and I take them out to pee and poo, and I just check their water. And usually I'm with them about 30 minutes, 15 minutes each. I'd say maybe once a week I'll sit down for an hour or 2 and just watch Netflix on my phone, like cuddle with them on the couch or play kind of catch or fetch with them or whatever. But I love dogs. I'm an extrovert who lives alone, so getting some good cuddle time is great. I love it. But, like, I'm not feeding them 3 times a day. I'm not, like, taking them out 3 times. I'm not, like, staying over. I'm not, like, brushing them and, like, doing all... Like, it's a bathroom break. It's, like, let them out midday so they don't pee and poo all over the apartment. You know what I mean? And I'm happy to do that. But there's so many snails out here, and there's also dog turds covered in moss. But anyway, so that's an interesting LA Audacity thing, because I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't know, maybe we'll become friends, maybe we'll become friends, maybe we'll become friends, and friends help each other out, right? No, Matty, we are not buying friendship, okay? Guess what, guys? I need to teach you something that I've only learned recently. There's a difference between a friend and an acquaintance. An acquaintance is not your friend. They are not your friend. Do you live in a building? Have you seen some dude in the hallway, the mailroom, the gym? Have you said hi to him 3 or 4 times? Have you talked for 15 seconds each time, about 2 to 3 times, about small, meaningless things? He's not your friend. Do not crochet his baby a blanket. Oh, you already bought the yarn? You already bought the yarn. Maybe you should talk to your sister, who can let you know that you should not do that. You should not do that. Did you buy them a gift card? What's their last name? Oh, you don't know. Making friends is hard, dude. It's hard. It's hard. I'll tell you why. You know what a true friend is? A true friend is somebody who loves you for who you are on the inside. And when they're with you, 80% of the time they're having fun, and 20% of the time they are doing the hard work of being there for you, listening to you. There's sad stuff, there's hard stuff, there's difficult stuff, but they want to do that because that's what friendship is. It's not fun all the time. It's not work all the time. It's a healthy 80-20 split. They don't care what you look like. They don't keep score. They don't throw shit in your face. And they are happy for you aside from themselves. And that is something, too, that I will say is, like, you got to be genuinely happy for your friends. And that is easy because you love them. But sometimes when you feel like things are not going in your life, it can I sound like I'm getting choked up and emotional and crying. There's just a frog in my throat. Although I will cry. Like, I'm not afraid to cry. I like crying. I feel like it's cathartic. And I don't think it's weak. I think it's strong to know your emotions. Sometimes it's hard, right? When you feel like you're on the hamster wheel and everybody's kind of winning gold, winning first place, and just moving forward with their life. It's hard. So anyway, I do not think I'm going to help this guy with his dog because he couldn't even say hi to me. He couldn't even say hi to me. He can't say hi to me. You don't want to say hi to me? I kind of want to watch Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. I think that's what I'm going to do. There's so many things to do. There's so many things that I should be doing and working on. I don't really know what to do. I don't really know what path to take. I don't really know. I know where I want to be. I don't know how to get there. I do agree that, like, if you just keep going, something will happen. And I was really kind of feeling that a couple days ago, and then this video popped off, and I don't know. It's so weird. I don't know. It's so weird because there's some people in life who they don't know where they want to go, and they also don't care. They're just kind of like living life. They're in the moment. They're doing whatever. And I'm kind of jealous and envious of those people because they're happy. They're just like, I went to school for this, but I fell into this job, or like I did this, but then this happened, and they're just kind of like go to work and then they go see a movie and they're just, meanwhile, I've known what I wanted since I was 14. And I'm 33 and it's been 19 years, and it's just kind of like blips of success. But my sister asked me a really hard thing. She's like, what does success look like? She's like, in a world where everybody could always get more or want more, what does it look like? And I was like, you know what? Honestly, if I could just do something joyfully and sustainably that made me happy and paid my bills, I was like, I could be happy with that. I was like, yes, I would love to win 3 Oscars. Why 3? That's what Jack Nicholson did. I was like, I would love to do that. I'd love to be a global fashion brand, right? I'd love to go on tour. I've been wanting to go on tour since I was 14. I'd love to do live shows. I would love it. I was like, if I'm like the side character on some like Hulu show that like some people watch, but not everybody watches, but just I was like, that would be cool. Or if I could just, pay my rent by, doing my podcast, or I don't know. I was like, I think I could, like, everybody always wants more, but I think I could be happy with just like sustainable, just doing what I love, paying my bills, and whatever that looks like, right? Because a lot of times what you get is not what you thought. But it's kind of like, I grew up in a world watching VHS tapes in the 90s and then DVDs in the 2000s, and now we just stream Netflix on our phone. And so it's like, you grow up with one thing and then you're an adult with other things. So it's like, it'd be like somebody being like, oh, I want to be on the cover of a magazine, but like now that's really like, oh, I want to be like in a Vogue's Instagram grid or something. I don't know. I mean, they still have magazines, which I love buying them at airports. I love reading magazines on airplanes. It makes me feel like I'm in an 80s movie. I don't know. Just trying to be honest, not fish, not be a victim. Just be myself. I don't really know what this episode is, but I appreciate you listening. You know that you're getting the honest truth with how I feel. What do I want to leave you with? 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 Talking to another potential date that I really felt good about, and then just, disappeared. Said was going to Anaheim. Distance is on the app. I can see that you're 1 to 4 miles away. You're not in Anaheim. I digress. What does that mean? What does that mean? You can't control outside forces. You can't. That's what I want to leave you with. You can't control outside forces. You cannot. You can't. What is this? What's going on? What is anything? We're on a rock flying through outer space in an infinite universe. Is this real? Is this a dream? Is this a simulation? Is this the Matrix? What's going on? What's going on is I'm real. You're real. I don't control you. You don't control me. You control yourself. I control myself. We can't be too hard on ourselves because we still have impulses. We still have to eat and sleep. We need things. We're influenced by our genetics and by our environment. We could be stressed out from trauma. We could be in fight or flight. I get all that, okay? But you have the power to drink a glass of water. You have the choice to go for a walk. You have the choice to say hello to somebody and take a chance opening up a door to a potential friend or relationship. You have the opportunity to take boxing classes. You could take voice lessons. I know that not everybody has the means to do anything. I'm not saying, you have the choice to own a mansion in Hawaii. I'm not saying that bullshit. I'm not saying that toxic positivity bullshit. But I'm saying whatever that you do have the resources to do, you want to write something, fucking write something then. then fucking do it. Then do it. A tree fell on my uncle a couple weeks ago. Bam, gone. 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 He was so cautious. He was so nervous about flying. One time we went to Boston, he was nervous about how far the museum was from the hotel that we were going to walk to. And I was like, I don't know. It says it's like a 15-minute walk. I don't know. I've never been there. And then a tree falls on him. You don't know what's going to happen. You can't control anything. You can't control other people, Mother Nature, existence, whatever. So what I want to leave you with is this, as a cat runs across the street. All you can do is keep trying to do the things that will make you happy and healthy. And sometimes it could happen soon, sometimes it could happen later. I really, really have to believe, I'll put it that way. I won't say that I do believe or I want to believe. I'll put it this way. I have to believe, because I'm telling you, this is the only way I can function. Okay, real talk. I have to believe this, okay? It's the only way I can keep going. I have to believe that if you keep going and you keep trying, like Rocky Balboa, the movie, you pick yourself up, get knocked down, pick yourself up. I have to believe that eventually some form, even if it's not the form you imagine, even if you imagine the color red and it's the color orange, or maybe you imagine purple but it's the color blue, some form of success and health and happiness will come to you, which is so interesting, because with my uncle, like in the winter, he was like, his girlfriend was telling me like he was not doing well mental health wise, but he like went to the doctor. He joined like this band. He joined like a senior citizens choir. Like he was like volunteering place. He was like in all these things, because the funeral home is packed of all these people I'd never seen before. I was worried there weren't going to be a lot of people there, because we have a very small family. And he doesn't have any kids or anything. But it was packed with all these people that were like talking about how he made an impact on them. And it's just really interesting how like he was not in a good place, and then he got himself in a good place, and then he died. It's not fair. I was very angry. I cried with his girlfriend. I was telling her how much I think it was bullshit. They should have had more time together. Their story is fascinating, because they literally like fell in love in college and then like didn't see each other for like 30 years and then reconnected. But I don't really want to put too much of that personal shit out there, because I consent to put myself, but my family members don't, so I like to maintain their privacy. But basically, it's just interesting. He got his life on track. He pursued good things and was in a really great place. And I guess the good and the bad of that is like, life is short. You don't know how much time you have, and so don't waste that time fucking moping. You know, pick yourself up and pursue the things, and eventually good things, they've got to happen. I gotta believe that they happen. As I stare at a palm tree, as I listen to the cars drive by, as a half-smoked joint hangs in my fingers, in my mouth, with a La Croix in my hand. Nature chirping, cats strolling across the street, neighbors in the apartments with their LED lights. I fucking love it. I fucking love Los Angeles. I don't like the trash. I don't like the fake. I don't like the congestion. I don't like the traffic. I don't like the bag of beer bottles on the side of the road I'm staring at, although honestly they do look like kind of cool. Somebody had a party. But I love it. So, oh my goodness, dude, 49 minutes? Jeez. Oh God. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. I hope you're doing well. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next episode. Hang loose, pal.